welcome to another edition of From the Perch. I'm your boy Roman Marcianti, contributor for Canes Insight and one of the original members of the Orange Bowl Boys. This week, the Independence Bowl, featuring University of Miami and, tell him Franco,
Louisiana Tech.
that a boy. Here you go. Pay attention to the down and distance here at the bottom of the screen. It's 2nd and 9. And what you're going to notice as Michael Irvin Jr. comes across and sets the formation, you're going to notice that Louisiana Tech is in a 2-deep safety shell and also looking to go in quarters coverage based off the pre-snap look. In this case, when you do have 2 tight ends in line, these are the numbers you should want to run against. Miami content with the original play call, which is a play action pass. And as you're going to notice, nobody's going to go ahead and get essentially sucked up. Right here, you're going to see that the linebackers are already dropping back into coverage. So that was a good coaching job and pre-scout and understanding down and distance and what Miami was trying to do. Now, at this case, just a little bit more of an erratic base. You can see right here. Jaren's not necessarily getting on top of this ball. He's collapsing a little bit on his backside. His backside release is not going to be getting there. And just like a house, you got to build it from the foundation up. In this case, I can tell you right now that that ball's going to sail. And does it? Yes, it does. Louisiana Tech showing that they could take a page right from the How to Stop Miami offense in 2019. You're going to see it all unfold in parts. Here's one. Just press the wide receivers. They had a hard time separating late down the backstretch, and this is exactly what they're showing pre-snap. Second, and the big Achilles heel for the offensive line all year, just blitz them. And if you do it late, you're going to confuse them, which they do here. And third, watch this walk-up secondary defender, the safety. He's going to drop down pretty much pre-snap and try to time this out so he can take away this slant window, this bang 8 post window. Think back to when Jaren set that record against Louisville, how many times that they eviscerated the Louisville defense on that variety of play. It's no surprise, no secret, if you were to scout Jaren Williams, he prefers the inside part of the field. His interceptions happen on the inside portion of the field. So, as you go ahead and watch this, go back to the offensive line. Here it is. This person's going to cross face, and this defender doesn't allow Jaren to fully step up into the pocket. Okay, that was that blitz. It essentially could be constituted as getting home, and this is going to be an erratic throw behind Will Mallory and another failed third down attempt. Miami was 130th out of 130 FBS schools. That essentially got Dan Enos fired. Now, to the quarterbacking aspect, I still like it when I can see a quarterback off platform when they're not able to step up, bail your offensive coordinator out, and deliver potentially a strike when you can't be perfect. In this case, we know Jaren didn't bail out his offensive coordinator because he's not here. I'm going to say this really clear for some. Just because Miami's in a shotgun doesn't make the offense modern. And just because Miami's in a shotgun doesn't make it a spread. You're going to notice Miami once again coming up in 12-set personnel. Michael Irvin Jr. here at the bottom and Will Mallory at the top. Now, I want to shift the focus to the Louisiana Tech defensive side of the ball and give credit where credit is due because the coaches obviously saw something and they were able to get it down at the ground level to the troops on the defensive side of the ball. Miami's going to try to carry out a play action pass. Of course they are. And here it is. Now, at the height of the play fake right there, you'll notice that the intent and the flow of the play was to go ahead and get all the defenders to flow into the boundary. Except this Mike linebacker, he saw something, and he's flowing in the opposite direction. He's anticipating this, and that's going to blow up this play. Jaren Williams has no shot. It's a long developing. His back has been turned the whole entire time, and when it turns around, hello, Mr. Mike linebacker. Now, he does a good job flushing this and blowing this up. Jaren tries to make a play, and it's the defensive end that goes ahead and clears this up. Got to give credit where credit is due. Louisiana Tech, you just stole Dan Enos' cookies. When I said Jaren Williams prefers the middle of the field, there's a good reason for that. Louisiana Tech's only going to bring 3. He's going to have the time, and where does he try to force this ball? Miami needs a spark. Louisiana Tech just scored. The offense needs to respond. Let them know that they mean business. So what do they come out with? 2 tight ends, and they're going to run a lead into the boundary. Now, once again, pay attention to the numbers that you have here. you'll see tucked in heavy right here. Your Mike linebacker is starting to shift and creep this way, and I don't necessarily think you have the numbers on this side of the field considering. Maybe back this up and check. Never mind. We're not going to keep talking about check with me. That's not what Dan Enos did. But in this case, I want you to pay attention to Louisiana Tech linebacker depth. I think this is strategic. Where before you saw them flow in the opposite direction, I think once they saw Corey Gaynor pull right here, his eyes were looking. That was a key for a run. And look at how much more downhill they are this time in comparison to the last play action pass. You're going to see this linebacker knifes in untouched. Corey Gaynor now turning around his head because he was an immediate threat, didn't have him. That linebacker's at 3 yards. Yeah, Corey Gaynor's going to earhole him. But at that 5, he was able to diagnose, saw the pulling center, and look at the flow. Because remember that numbers that was there pre-snapped? Well, guess where they ended up after the snap? Oh, there they all are. I don't care what the talent differential is on the team. You're just not going to put them in the best spot when you run plays like that. So let's go ahead and watch this back to back. You're going to see some things maybe preferential and some things that are habitual. Well, here's preferential. I would say outside the hash, you have 2 wide receivers. You have a numbers advantage. They're off the ball. They're off man. This is stealing. This is what a lot of teams do, especially when they mix this up with tempo. All you got to do is just read it out in the perimeter. This is an extension of the run game. Quick screen out there. You have the numbers, have a good tight out and block, and it's a positive gain. All right. So if you work the perimeter, you spread it out, you just had some success. You follow this back up on 3rd and 3. And where do you think the ball is going to go? Where does Jaron like to throw the ball? In the middle of the field. Of course, you're starting to see the defense set its teeth. Look at all the defenders in the middle of the field. Still, poor throw. This ball should have been a completion, should have been led in front. But it was staring you right in the face, my dude. I'm going to preface this clip by saying Tate Martell's overall series didn't go particularly well. But in this case, on first down, it shows some promise of what could be in the future in the right system. Here you go. Miami in the shotgun, spread out look, and you're going to see Will Mallory in line, and we're going to talk about Will later on in this clip. But you're going to see that Miami has 8 that they can use when you consider a mobile threat quarterback in the run game. You're creating the numbers, and that's exactly what you do when you go ahead and do a quarterback draw. There it is. There's the draw aspect, and then you go. At this place, it's blocked well, and this is when you miss Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan was a lot better in line as a blocker. Will, for somebody that's essentially half your size, he sheds you way too easy, and in that case, he's going to make the play. Tate Martell's still going to get 6 yards. With a good block by the tight end, maybe he gets that to around 7, 8, potentially 9 yards. But in this case, even though the series didn't go well, that first play was promising. See, it's okay to do this once in a while, but Miami, Dan, you just never learned. I mean, in week 0, there were so many times, and I saw it throughout the year, where the head-up defensive back on the number 2 slot receiver, he just created havoc in the backfield. And look what happens again. If you take these guys and essentially just push them out, now you don't have to worry about this. Your inexperienced offensive line who is just obliterated with complex looks all year, and even this isn't that complex, they just don't know what to do. And in this case, you're going to see what happens. Ready? KJ starting to point, and right at this point, now panic's going to ensue. KJ's like, uh-oh, he's coming in. Campbell, instead of helping on the first outside shoulder over here with Michael Irvin Jr., doesn't. They both come over here. Mike loses contain, and look at this mess. Even when this guy gets in, you can't even get 2 people to block this one guy. And what do you think's going to happen to this play? Gets swallowed up. 2nd and 10. Now you're in 3rd and 8. It's not rocket science. One of the reasons why I'm the biggest proponent for spread offenses, especially with an inexperienced offensive line who's not particularly good, is you don't have problems like that in that style of offense. Simple spread offense, 101. You see the X receiver out here flanked wide away from where the ball was set on the boundary side. And he's garnering a lot of attention from the defense when you consider that the safety is on the opposite side of the hash. So, freed up box, have some numbers. Simple offense. All you're going to do is at the bottom of the screen, you're going to create a real quick numbers advantage when you just do a nice, simple screen. I thought Miami should have probably did a lot more of this on this game. I thought Louisiana Tech was giving it to them, especially on early downs. Now, Will, called you out earlier for blocking. This has kind of been a common theme all year as well. But my dude, block somebody. Like what is this? Like you ran after the guy that was getting blocked, you left somebody that wasn't getting blocked, and then you're getting your guy's way. At a certain point, we're just going to have to learn with the block. I mean, it's not all on the coaching X's and O's. Some of it's on execution, but in that case, please block someone. It would help to know your personnel. 1st and 10, Mike Harley is going to come in close to the formation and come in to block on that play side. Mike Harley doesn't necessarily have a lot of weight to him. He's a lot of heart. I like the high school that he went to. But in this case, is that who you want down in here trying to make blocks? Just goes to show you the cursed nature of the 2019 Miami Hurricanes offense. That is, oh, nice. I just noticed this 390 yards a game today, 158. You know the defense did its job. But Dan Enos actually calls a nice little play, nice little wrinkle. Hasn't really showed this before. He's going to go ahead and motion Cam Harris to the force side when you consider that you have a halfback here as well. You got Robert Burns both in here at the same time. Defense creating a little bit of confusion, creating some of the rules. I like this as well. Jaron's opening up and taking his eyes towards this side of the field, keeping the safeties at bay. You just can't miss this throw. All right? There's no safety behind this. This is a poorly thrown ball. That's a touchdown. 3rd and 8. And if you followed this channel for an extended period of time, you know that I've said that the offensive line in tandem with the running backs are allergic to stunts and twists. In this case, I think we're past simple allergies. Folks, I think we're in anaphylactic shock. The worst case of allergy you could have. Dun, dun, dun. You need Hep B. You need Solumedrol. You need Benadryl. Throw the kitchen sink because we have a problem here in the Gables. Here you're going to see the linebackers, simple twist, simple stunt coming down through the A-gap. And right here, inexplicably, you have the running back and the left guard go after the same linebacker while leaving this linebacker, well, he is untouched. So what happens? Play breaks down and sack. And to add insult to injury, well, first before we get there, but now you know why there's a lot of talk and chatter and potentially a hot seat for offensive line coach Butch Berry. Now, insult to injury, take it away, 46. Nice dance. So this is going to be the last clip of the Dan Enos era. He came in with a lot of fanfare. He was known as the quarterback guy, the quarterback expert. All 3 of his quarterbacks would get into the game this game. And once you know it, the final quarterback, N'Kosi Perry, would probably throw the most inexcusable pick all year. I have no idea where he's throwing this ball. I have no idea where the miscommunication is. But yeah.